All right, let's talk about the weird stuff. The glitches in the matrix, the things that science looks at and just goes, huh, that shouldn't be happening. These are the puzzles that keep researchers up at night. And honestly, they're the most exciting part of science because they show us where the next big breakthrough is hiding.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? When we find something that seems to totally break the rules, it usually means we just don't know all the rules yet. It means there's something deeper going on. So, let's go find some of these cosmic rule breakers.
And we're not going to start a billion light years away. No, we're starting right here, with mysteries happening right under our feet. Or, in some cases, literally inside our own heads.
Okay, picture this. You're in your home in Taos, New Mexico, and you hear this constant, low-frequency hum, kind of like a diesel engine idling somewhere far off. It never stops. But when you ask your neighbor about it, they have no idea what you're talking about.
And that's because only about 2% of the people there can even hear it. It's this weird, exclusive club you don't want to be a part of. This makes it so hard to study because for most people, there's nothing there at all.
And here is the absolute core of the mystery. For the people who hear it, it's a very real sound, a physical vibration. But when scientists bring in super-sensitive microphones and equipment, they get nothing, zilch. The machines say there is no sound, but the people say there is.
So, you get this whole buffet of theories, right? Everything from secret government projects and UFOs to the idea that people's own ears are actually generating the sound from the inside. But as of today, not a single theory has stuck. The hum remains a complete mystery. And it's not the only one. Let's dive deep underwater.
Thousands of feet down in the ocean, where there is absolutely zero light, something incredible happens. When a light flashes in that total darkness, the bioluminescent critters down there seem to answer back. They light up in this beautiful, coordinated wave. It's called the flashback.
Actually seeing this is unbelievably hard. I mean, you have to get a sub down into crushing pressure, sit in perfect blackness, and then flash a light, just hoping you trigger this faint, rippling response. Is it communication? A defense mechanism? We just don't know.
Okay, from the deep ocean, let's jump into deep time. Scientists have just found evidence of a seriously bizarre event in our planet's history, and they found it by looking at 3,000-year-old construction materials.
So about 3,000 years ago, around Mesopotamia, Earth's magnetic field apparently went nuts. It spiked to more than 1.5 times the strength it is today. And the only reason we know this is because of clay bricks. When the builders fired them, tiny iron particles inside lined up with the magnetic field and got frozen in place. These ancient bricks are like little time capsules, telling us about a time our planet's magnetic shield was mysteriously on steroids.
All right, let's zoom out a bit. We're leaving Earth behind and taking a look at our neighbors in the solar system. And let me tell you, with the new telescopes we have, we're finding out these places are way stranger than we ever thought. Venus, man. Venus is a planet-sized mystery box. You've got gases in the atmosphere that just shouldn't be able to exist together. You've got these hints of phosphine gas, which on Earth is linked to living things. But the biggest puzzle is this unknown absorber, some thing in the clouds that is soaking up more than half the sunlight that hits the planet. We have no earthly idea what it is.
So, when astronomers pointed the brand new, incredibly powerful James Webb Space Telescope at Saturn's North Pole, they pretty much knew what they were going to see. The usual stuff, the famous hexagon-shaped storm, just in way more detail. It was supposed to be a routine check-in. Yeah, that is not what they saw. Instead, they found these weird dark spots that looked like beads floating high in the atmosphere, and underneath them, a glowing, lopsided, four-pointed star shape. Nobody has ever seen anything like it on any planet, ever. It just goes to show, the moment you get a better look, you find brand new mysteries.
All right, buckle up because we're going even further out now. We're headed into deep space, into the huge voids between galaxies, where astronomers are catching these ghosts, signals that just don't fit with anything we think we know about the universe.
First, a little context. An elliptical galaxy is basically a cosmic retirement community. It's full of old stars, it's not making any new ones, it's just quiet. They're considered dead galaxies. That's the key takeaway. They're supposed to be quiet.
Which is why everyone was completely floored when they tracked a fast radio burst, one of the most powerful energetic signals in the universe, back to one of these dead galaxies. FRBs are thought to come from young, super-violent stars. Finding one here, it's like hearing a baby cry in a cemetery. It just makes no sense.
And then you have these literal cosmic ghosts. A project called Vasco compares old photos of the sky from the 1950s with modern digital surveys. And they found about 100 objects that show up bright and clear on one old photo and then are just gone, vanished without a trace. They're not asteroids. They're not anything we can explain. They were just there, and now they're not.
Okay, try to follow this one. Scientists were looking for a faint glow of gamma rays from one part of the sky. Instead, they found a glow 10 times stronger than expected, coming from a completely different direction. And here's the kicker. That wrong direction perfectly lines up with the source of another huge mystery, ultra-high energy cosmic rays. It's like two totally separate mysteries are pointing their fingers at the same spot in the sky, hinting at some unknown, unbelievably powerful source out there.
And for our last anomaly, we come all the way back to Earth, to Antarctica to be specific, because an experiment there found something that doesn't just challenge astronomy, it seems to defy the fundamental laws of physics itself. This quote really says it all. The standard model of physics is basically the rule book for how every particle in the universe is supposed to behave. And an experiment called Anita saw something that, according to that rule book, is flat out impossible.
So check out this impossible journey. Anita is a detector hanging from a giant balloon over Antarctica, and it detected a particle that was shooting up out of the ice. For that to happen, this particle had to have come from space, traveled through thousands of miles of solid rock and molten iron, and burst out the other side. No known particle can do that. It would be like trying to throw a baseball through a mountain and having it come out the other side without a scratch.
So when you look at all this, the hums, the flashbacks, the vanishing stars, the impossible particles, it's easy to think science is failing. But it's the exact opposite. These aren't failures. These are the guideposts, the little breadcrumb trails leading us toward a bigger, deeper, and probably much weirder understanding of reality.
You know, every time we solve one mystery, we usually find two more that are even bigger. These are just the puzzles we've managed to stumble upon so far. It really makes you wonder, what else is out there, just waiting for us to look in the right place?